Greetings, adventurers. This is DM Kurt, and so I'm looking in the internets, and I find that Wizards of the Coast has released another Unearthed Arcana, uh, which is basically like a set of patch notes, or hey, here's something for you guys to play test, and let us know what you think about it, and we might put it into a future book. We might print it as an official thing, and it's probably going to be modified by playtest before we do. But anywho, I'm going to put a link to it in the description or the comments below in just a little bit of time after I get this thing posted. But anyway, from Wizards of the Coast, Unearthed Arcana, we have giant options. So, okay, what do we got? We got a new subclass for Barbarian, a new subclass for Druid, and a new one for Wizard, and a handful of feats. Okay, so let's get into it. Barbarian, Path of the Giant. Barbarians who walk the path of the giant draw strength from the primal forces that are the giants and their elemental kind. Okay. During their rage, a barbarian may take after a legendary storm giant, hair turning white and eyes crackling with lightning. Others adapt the monstrous features of apocalyptic titans, rending the world around them so it may be made anew. Giant Power, 3rd level, Path of the Giant feature. When you choose this path, you may learn to speak, read, and write Giant and one other language of your choice if you already know Giant. Additionally, you may learn either the Druidcraft or Thaumaturgy cantrip, your choice. Okay, cool. You get a language and a cantrip. 3rd level attribute, 3rd level thing. Also, 3rd level feature, Giant's Havoc. Your rage pulls strength from the primal might of giants, and you gain the following benefits whenever you are raging. Whenever you are raging, you may make a successful ranged attack with a thrown weapon using your strength and add your rage damage bonus to the attack's damage roll. So you're looking at adding a couple points of damage to a javelin or a hand axe. Okay. Giant Stature, your reach increases by 5 feet, and if you're smaller than large, which if you're a player character, you pretty much are, then you become large along with anything you are wearing. If there's not enough room for you to become large, your size doesn't change. Okay, so an increase of reach by 5 feet, that's really handy for a hand-to-hand combatant. That would stack with a polearm, that would stack with being something like a bugbear that has the big long orangutan arms for +5 reach. So a bugbear polearm barbarian with this, we're looking at base of 5, bugbear makes 10, polearm makes 15, and this makes 20. So you're looking at hitting things within 20 feet of you with this giant polearm and your increased size as you become an oversized bugbear. Anybody else, 15 feet if they have a polearm, 10 feet if they're just a regular dude with a hatchet or his fists or whatever. Still pretty good for only being a 3rd level barbarian, having a little extra reach. Good. 6th level feature, Elemental Cleaver. Your bond with the elemental might of giants and their kind grows, and you learn to infuse weapons with primordial energy. You choose one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, thunder, or lightning. Acid? Really? I don't see it, but whatever. The weapon's damage type changes to the chosen type, and it deals an extra d6 damage of the chosen type when it hits. So you're getting a little extra damage, and you're possibly bypassing something's immunities. So if you're fighting a ice golem or something like that, then you choose fire, and you start wielding a big fiery axe, and, right on. This doesn't mean you add additional bludgeoning damage or slashing. So if you're fighting big giant skeletons, it's extra damage, but it's not extra damage that they're especially vulnerable to. That's, decent. Mighty Impel. 10th level feature. Okay, so you got to get to 10th level before you get this, so it could be a decent ability. Your connection to the giant strength now allows you to hurl both allies and enemies on the battlefield. As a bonus action while raging, you can choose one medium or smaller creature within your reach, and you have a decent reach. Although I wouldn't use the polearm thing. So let's say you're large and you're a bugbear, so we got 10. We got 15 foot of reach. You can move that creature to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet of yourself. If at the end of the movement the thrown creature isn't on a surface or liquid that can support it, the creature falls, yada, yada, yada. So if you huck them over a cliff, they fall. No kidding. You huck them into a lake, they sink. But an unwilling creature can succeed on a strength saving throw to avoid the effect. Grabbing people and throwing them around, that is kind of cool. That's a reasonable thing for a warrior to do, is, you know, you're not only just striking, but you're also throwing people around. You can use it, though, to grab, now you have to be raging, to grab an ally and throw them at the enemy. We are talking about the X-Men comic book with Wolverine getting tossed by Colossus in a little move they used to call the fastball special. Okay, sure. Demiurgic Colossus. Now this is a 14th level feature. You have to get 14th level before you get this. The primordial power of your rage intensifies. When you rage, your reach now increases by 10 feet. Now it doesn't... There is some question as to whether or not that stacks with the giant stature from above. So are we adding another 10 feet? And then our theoretical bugbear can get like 30 feet of reach in any direction? Your size can increase to huge. And you can now use your Mighty Impel to move creatures that are large or smaller. In addition, the extra damage dealt by your Elemental Cleaver feature increases to 2d6. If you're a size huge creature, you should have a serious huge reach proportionally. So, okay, so you got a really good reach. And your Elemental Cleaver damage plus 2d6. So your base weapon plus 2d6. Okay, for something that's size huge, adding only 2d6 isn't too bad. And remember, you have to get 14th level for you there. That's not a bad, I mean, that's not a bad Barbarian subclass, archetype. I don't know, the whole, I mean, you're growing, you're shrinking, you could do sort of a Incredible Hulk kind of theme kind of thing going there. You're temporarily drawing on powers of the giants and temporarily becoming giant-sized. Okay. Okay, so I can see that. That's not terrible, I don't think. I mean, it's powerful, but then again, everything the Barbarian class does is pretty powerful. This one's kind of surprising. This next one up. Druid, Circle of the Primeval. The Circle of the Primeval teaches that, though the land may change over time, it never truly forgets. By tapping into the time-worn memory of the earth, these druids summon and bond with a spirit of a primeval behemoth, a hulking creature that once ruled the ancient world alongside the giants. The most well-known primeval behemoths are the dinosaurs. But spirits bonded with the members of the Circle of the Primeval have also taken the form of other ancient predecessors to today's common beasts. Okay, working alongside their companion spirit, most druids of the Circle of Primeval spend their lives delving into long-forgotten places and preserving the remnants of bygone eras. As the druid's power grows, so does their companion, the beast starting near equal in size to its druid partner before increasing in stature till it too towers over the land. You'll go and get a pet dinosaur. Level 2 feature, just level 2. Keeper of Old, your connection to the ancient mighty primeval behemoths allows you new insight into the ancient world. Congratulations, you get proficiency in the history skill, and when you make an intelligence history check, you can add a d4 to add to the number of the ability check. That's not quite as good as advantage, but it's still pretty good. Add a d4 to a history check. Cool. Level 2 feature, Primeval Companion. Starting when you choose the circle, you call upon the primeval creature whose spirit is bound to you. As an action, you can expend one use of your wild shape feature to summon your primeval companion instead of you assuming a beast form. It's friendly to you and your companions, obeys your commands. Its armor class is 13 plus your proficiency bonus for natural armor. So as you level, its AC gets better. So your proficiency bonus is a number from 2 to 5 depending on your level. So you're going to start off AC 15 and then you could get up to an 18 when you get a super high level. Hit points 10 plus 5 times your Druid level. Your companion has a number of hit dice, D10s, equal to your Druid level. Okay, so it has set hit points, but it has a number of considered hit dice. Speed 30 feet. Strength, Dex, Con 15, 15, 17, Int 6, Wisdom 12, Charisma 8. It understands the languages you speak. It strikes with a melee weapon attack. D8 plus your proficiency bonus of bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, your choice, depending on what kind of critter it is. So you could have like a baby ankylosaurus or something. Kind of cool. You could do a raptor, saber-toothed tiger, woolly rhinoceros, whatever. But your choice of how it looks doesn't affect the stats. It's just what kind of baby dinosaur or saber-toothed tiger do you want? It can intercept an attack when a creature the companion sees, your primeval companion, hits a target with the attack, and the target's within 5 feet of the companion. The target instead takes half the damage, and the companion takes the remainder. So your dinosaur pet can kind of get in the way of attacks at you and your friends and try to protect them. It does get hurt doing so, but it is a brave little dinosaur. Tiger, etc. Level 6 feature, Prehistoric Conduit. You learn to channel your magic through your primeval companion. When you cast a spell with a range other than self, which sounds like touch-based, not range of self. Self is stuff on you, touch is stuff you touch others with, and anything range. The spell can originate from you or your primeval companion. In addition, if the primeval companion is affected by a spell that you cast that allows creatures to make a save, it gets advantage on the saves. And then if it would normally take half damage on the successful save, it instead takes no damage. You could have this thing cast Flame Strike on itself and not take any damage if you do it right. Titanic Bond. Now we're looking at 10th level abilities. The primeval companion grows to large size, and when you summon it, you can grant it either a climbing speed or a swimming speed equal to its walking speed. So now you can use this thing as a mount without you having to be a size small creature like a halfling. You could have started out as a halfling druid with a pet dinosaur they could ride. Now you can be a human or elf druid and have a dinosaur you can ride. 10th level. In turn, the primeval companion lends you some of its terrifying might. If you hit a creature with an attack or deal damage to a creature you can see with a spell you cast, you can force that creature to make a wisdom save or be frightened of you. So you just become super scary dinosaur guy, the dinosaur rider. Right on. That's kind of cool. Scourge of the Ancients. You have learned to fully harness the titanic energy of legacy of your companion. As part of the bonus action you use to command your companion, you can expend a spell slot of any level to heighten your primeval companion's might, making it huge. It gains temporary hit points equal to 10 times the level of the spell slot expended. So it gets a handful of bonus hit points, becomes huge. So your entire party can ride this thing. If there's not enough room for it to become huge, it just goes maximum possible size. Mauler. On a hit, the companion strike deals additional damage equal to D8 plus the level of the spell slot expended. So you're doing a couple of D8s in here. Right on. Titanic Stride. Hey, if something's huge, it has long legs, right? So now its walking speed increases by number of feet equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot expended. You're 14th level. You got some decent spell slots. You can make this thing big. These benefits last for 1 hour or until the companion vanishes or you expend a spell slot for this feature again. So, yeah, right on. You use up one of your big level spells right before a combat, and your dinosaur becomes really big, and then you're riding on this huge thing. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, you have to be 14th level before you can do it, but that's kind of cool. Wizard, Runecrafter. Okay, so we're on to number 3. Runecrafter wizards enhance their spellcasting through the ancient power of runes. Through the tradition originated with the giant runecasters of old, runecraft magic has expanded to encompass countless languages and practitioners across different worlds. They're saying any class, any wizard of any race or background. For many rune crafters, the runes they wield are as every bit unique and personal as their spellbook. Some strive to honor the practices or origins among the giants, engraving their runes on decorative stones that adorn their spellcasting implements, while others messily scribble their runes on scraps of paper. Lame. If I were to do this, if I was making a game from scratch, making D&D from scratch, I would have this be like dwarves only. Dwarves either aren't spellcasters or they're runecrafters. You have priests and runecrafters. That'd be your dwarves. Rune of Understanding, level 2 feature. You get comprehend languages. Cast without spending a spell slot. Yes, you are using written runes. You understand things. You understand languages and the power of language. Runic Empowerment, level 2 feature. When you cast a spell using a spell slot, you can invoke one of the following runes. Life Rune. Choose one creature within 30 feet of you, including yourself. The chosen creature gains temporary hit points equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot expended. So if you can cast Fireball, 3rd level spell, you could target a friend. They gain 15 temporary hit points, and then the spell Fireball goes off, which may or may not include them. So you could heal you while casting over there, or heal you, cast around you. Sorry, I took away the hit points I gave you, but you just had successful danger close artillery strike without harming you that much. I basically, collateral damage, a little bit of scratch on you, and I just saved your butt from everything attacking you. War Rune. When you invoke this rune, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. Does not say choose yourself. Until the end of your next turn, attack rolls that target that chosen creature gain a bonus equal to half the spell level, rounded at minimum 1. Okay, so that's you place on an enemy. So I target that person to get easier to hit, and then I hit. Wind Rune. When you invoke this rune, your speed increases by number of feet to 5 times the level of spell slot expended, and that movement doesn't provide opportunity attacks benefits lasting until the start of your next turn. That's basically getting the mobile feat. You can invoke no more than 1 rune per spell, and use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, 2 to 5 times. And expend all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Sigil of Warding. 6th level Runecrafter feature. You call upon a rune of protection to guard yourself against threats. If you fail a strength, dex, or constitution saving throw, you can use your reaction to expend 1 use of your Runic Empowerment and succeed on the saving throw instead. So this makes this particular caster a little more resistant to physical threats. Makes him tougher. This totally fits like a dwarf. Rune Maven, 10th level Runecrafter feature. Your understanding of runecraft has grown immensely. When you use the Arcane Recovery feature, you also gain a number of your expended uses of Runic Empowerment. Okay. Utility. And fine. Engraved Enemy, 14th level feature. Now, 14th level, that's, you're getting up there in levels. You have mastered the art of wielding your runes directly against your foes. As a bonus action, you can target one creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself. That creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save or be magically marked with an Eminity Rune. Consider this like Hunter's Mark, but, better. The Eminity Rune appears as a faintly glowing mote of energy that hovers over the marked creature. That's so video game-like. I'm sorry. Runecraft's Bane. This creature has disadvantage on saving throws against spells that you cast. So it's just against the Runecrafter stuff, not against everything else your party throws. Unveiled Enemy. The radiance of the glowing rune makes the creature visible if it's invisible, and the creature can't become invisible while the rune persists. Now remember, you can target one creature you can see. So they can't be something that starts invisible unless you can already see the invisible. So if you have true sight, or it's something that's visible, tries to turn invisible later, and then it can't. It tried, but it can't, because boom, it's got a marker on it. Signal flare. Woeful Curse. When you mark the creature, and as a bonus action on subsequent turns for the duration, you can invoke the Eminity Rune to curse the creature until the start of your next turn. And the next time one of your allies hits the cursed creature with an attack roll, the target also takes 1d8 force damage, and the curse ends. So you got 3 effects off of one ability. It's pretty powerful. It's a 14th level ability. The Eminity Runes for 1 minute, or until you lose your concentration, or until expanded by the d8 thing. Whichever comes first. Once you've marked a creature this way, you cannot do so again until you finish a long rest or expend a spell slot of 3rd level or higher to gain another casting of it. So, okay. Alright. I would, like I said, if I were to just redo D&D from the ground up, I might make Dwarven spellcasters different. There's a lot of changes, but this would be basically a whole new game, using only some of the chassis maybe. Feats. We got new feats. And they're basically giant-based feats. Elemental Touched. You gain your choice of Druidcraft Thaumaturgy. And after a long rest, you choose which element you're attuned to. Air, earth, fire, or water. Air, fly speed equal to your walking speed till the end of your turn. So it's basically a 30-feet jump. Because at the end, you fall. Earth, you cause the ground within 30 feet of you to become difficult terrain for 1 minute or until you create this effect again. During that time, you can move across ground that is difficult terrain without spending extra movement. This would be very useful for a monk or a martial character like a fighter. You're putting you are affecting the movement within the combat. Fire, you surround yourself in a cloud of ash and smoke, and until the end of your turn, your movement doesn't provide opportunity attacks. Cool version of the mobile feat, because you don't get bonus movement, but you're immune to opportunity attacks, and you get a cantrip. Water, create a forceful surge of water, where you can push people around. Okay, that's an elemental feat, and if you had the Way of the 4 Elements monk, and you also take this feat, you have even more element stuff. So, you are doing elemental stuff. That's cool. Ember of the Fire Giant. Your prerequisite has to be 8th level. You manifest the fiery combat emblematic of fire giants, granting you the following benefits. Resistance to fire damage, and you're throwing out a fire-based ranged attack. Fury of the Frost Giant, prerequisite 4th level. Resistance to cold damage, and if a creature hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to scare them. Guile of the Cloud Giant, prerequisite 8th level. You can cast the blur spell, and you gain proficiency in deception or persuasion with double proficiency bonus. Hey, they're sneaky, they're persuasive. Those cloud giants, Keenness of the Stone Giant. 4th level is your prerequisite. So you got some 4th, some 8th level. Dreamer's Magic. You get the Detect Thoughts spell and the 1st level spell of your choice from Abjuration or Divination. And you get dark vision out to 60 feet, and if you already have dark vision, just throw 30 feet onto that. Soul of the Storm Giant, Maelstrom Aura, where you have this 10-foot radius of you that's all lightning and wind and stuff, and anybody trying to hit you in melee has disadvantage. Also, you can cast a divination spell as a ritual. Vigor of the Hill Giant. Prerequisite, only 4th level. Bulwark. When you are subjected to an attack that will move you at least 5 feet or knock you prone, you can use your reaction to steady yourself. You will not be knocked down. Hearty Health. When you're subjected to a spell that restores your hit points, you regain additional hit points equal to your con modifier, and you can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. So, if you get a number of cure wounds cast on you, you get a little bonus to each one, up to a certain number of times. Okay, if I were to allow these in my game, I would say, look, pick one. Pick one giant. That is your giant type that you can take the feat for. That'd be my thing. Not that you can take all of these feats, just stack them one after another, because you only get so many feats, if you get any feats at all. Okay. Separately, we have Outsized Might. Proficiency in athletics or acrobatic skill, powerful build, and advantage to being knocked down or moved. You just take that as a single feat right there. Outsized Might. You're a little bit stouter. Rune Carver Apprentice feat. You studied the art of runecraft, and you can temporarily mark your items and imbue them with magic. So, once per long rest, you can put a rune on one item, and there's a list of first level spells. You pick one first level spell, you put that mark on your item, and then you can trigger that when you need it to. When you're wearing or carrying the rune marked item, you can cast the chosen spell just without a spell slot or natural material components, whatever. Not a big deal. Rune Carver Adept, prerequisite 4th level, and the Rune Carver Apprentice feat. Same thing, but you get a number of objects equal to your proficiency bonus. Only one rune per object, so it's multiple little things on you. 2 to 5 of them total. I mean, if you have to take 2 feats to get that, you're looking at a minimum of 4th level, probably 8th, and you had to burn up 2 ASIs to get there. 2. Okay. These feats aren't terrible. Overall, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing giants and dinosaurs. So what is Wizards of the Coast thinking? Is this something they might tack on to Storm King's Thunder? Or maybe they're doing a Storm King's Thunder version 2 or a part 2 sequel? The pet dinosaur thing, hey, we got this Jurassic Park movie out of the theaters now or soon. Maybe they're kind of going with that or inspired by it. Maybe they're going to throw something extra into Chult next time they do Tomb of Annihilation-ish kind of activity. I don't know what they're planning, if they're planning anything at all. Maybe this might be just to throw something out there to the fans. I gotta say, not terrible. Not terrible. I think I like it. I'm going to put a link in the description or in the pinned comments as soon as I get this uploaded. Or hopefully within a short time of that. So, DM Kurt, out.